Yes. Okay, so I think we're ready to start. So. Okay, so one of the things that you guys just got to witness is during our homeschool journey, one of the things I really quickly realized is that Mason liked to take every assignment that he had and he liked to put his own spin on it. He could never just do what was said to be done. He had to put a spin. So we came up with a verb for that called Masonizing. So this is a Masonized graduation ceremony. He had many opportunities to graduate in a formal setting with other homeschoolers. He said, nah, we're not doing that. So anyway, this will probably be the shortest graduation ceremony you've ever been to, and it will probably be the most relaxed one too. Okay, so, but to have a little bit of tradition, I do want to talk a little bit about some of Mason's accolades and everything and his successes. So when we started homeschooling a decade ago, Mason's graduation seemed so very far away, very far away. But alas, today is the day and we are here. In traditional fashion, I just want to talk about a couple things that were successes for his high school career. First of all, this year he applied in July of 2017 to his #1 college pick, which was Liberty University, and he did get early admission, so he headed into his senior year feeling pretty good. So he is heading to Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia this fall, and we are so very happy for him. He is a member of the National Honor Society for Homeschoolers, and rather than have an easy spring semester this year, like most seniors do, there was no senioritis for Mason because he chose to be a Pennsylvania and nationally certified EMT. And that is something that literally challenged him every minute of the class. And something that kind of shows his character, even in the final stages of high school, that he really didn't have senioritis. He had no option. So he is also graduating with 12 college credits this year, where he participated in dual enrollment courses. So he's a little bit ahead, and so hopefully that's going to work to his advantage in fall and spring, that he can maybe take a slightly lighter load and just get used to college life. Some other highlights from high school include a 10-day leadership mission trip to the Bahamas, where him and Savannah Wynn as well went to help some Haitian refugees. So you don't normally think of the Bahamas and Haiti, but a lot of the Haitian refugees actually come and try and get to the Bahamas as a place of rescue, if you will. So he went to actually help out them. He spent in October a week survival camp, a week in Georgia. And that is where he was motivated and inspired to be an EMT. So God definitely had a hand in guiding that path. Additionally, he has spent 2 weeks of leadership training at our state capitol in his sophomore and junior year in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Not his favorite, but he survived, and I think he is better for it. He also, his freshman year, had a communication internship at our church. He also has a neighborhood mowing business where he has had since he was about 13 years old. So he mows a lot of the lawns around here, except that guy's that's brown. He doesn't mow that one. Well, doesn't mow that one. So to say the very least, we are very proud of some of his traditional academic accolades and successes and things like that. But as a homeschool mom, I got to spend countless hours learning about and knowing my child. And that is something that has been the greatest blessing to me. And during that time, I've had the privilege of seeing a lot more of Mason than just the traditional academic side. And to be honest, a lot of those things are the things that I'm most proud of. So I'm not going to cry. Mason may be tall, as you all probably picked up on, but he is a gentle giant. He is one of the most tender-hearted young men that you will meet. One of the things that also played a role for him in all of his schooling is Mason has something called dysgraphia. And dysgraphia is to writing as dyslexia is to reading. And that is something that he definitely struggled with. But rather than give up or use dysgraphia as an excuse. It really helped him to kind of keep going and keep striving. So a lot of his academic successes were a little harder pursued than some of the people who didn't have some of those dilemmas and things like that. He kept going through hours of therapy and all kinds of brain development techniques, and a lot of those were slightly strange, I'll be the first to tell you, but they worked, and I think he is better for the experience. He is one of the most well-read young men I know. He can talk to you about a variety of books and authors, and whether they're historical or whether they're contemporary. He is just a very well-read young man. One of the things that we think are the benefits of homeschooling is the strong family bond that develops. And, again, that's enough on that. But we are blessed that Mason loves his family. We all have a very close bond. He is close to his sister, and he is close to his father and I. And that is something that we will cherish. And if anything else, that's the greatest benefit for us of homeschooling. It has allowed us to do a lot of the things that had they been in traditional school, we would not have been able to do. And I think in the end, for him, it was made him a better person. Most importantly, he loves and he knows Jesus. And that's something that's obviously near and dear to our heart and very important to us. Now, here are some other things you may not know. Mason is a pop culture phenom. He knows something about just about anything. So you can ask him, he knows some fact about it. He especially has a love of The Office, hence, not pomp and circumstance, we have to have the Office theme. He loves The Big Bang Theory and Walking Dead. He is a purveyor of useless but amazing facts. Again, he knows a fact about everything. He's an expert yo-yoist. He is a budding magician, and he is a practicer of cardistry. So if you don't know what that is, you'll have to talk to him after this. He's played the guitar for many years. He loves current events, and is usually the most well-versed in our household for what is happening. He especially loves movies, okay? So all kinds. Doesn't matter. He can talk about movies for days and days and days. And he sees them differently than the average person. And so one of his big resources is the website IMDb, and they have a top 250 list. We've seen a whole bunch of them. Well, Mason has taken that, and he has his own top 250 list. So if you want to talk about movies, he will have a recommendation for you. He will know something about the movie, and he will be able to provide you the right direction for the director, trivia, who's in it, whatever. So if you need a movie recommendation, see him. He is also a Broadway connoisseur. We've seen over a dozen Broadway plays just in the last 2 years. And him and his sister, actually everybody but me, because I can't sing at all, will break into song very frequently at the dinner table of a Broadway play or something. So it's a lot of fun to listen to him in the shower, or they'll play off words, him and Savannah, or even Brian as well. He is a huge jazz music fan. Wouldn't expect that. He is a beginner blacksmith and knife maker. So you should ask to see some of the creations he made this year. You will definitely be impressed. He is an amazing storyteller, and he loves to talk to people and hear their stories. He is an expert marksman. He is a weapon collector from birth. Literally, he has collected swords from the moment he could walk and talk. And now it's knives. We just have smaller swords. And, we put them in all of our pockets. And he is a constant, everyday carry bag prepper. He has more lists for everyday carry bags every time. Here's another list, Mom. Let's look at this bag. So this is some of his strengths. He loves to travel, and he's been fortunate enough to have spent his childhood doing just that. He loves science and is a huge science nerd, and he's a history buff. Overall, he's just a modern-day Renaissance man, and I'm very proud of that. So, Mason, you are awesome. And your father and I couldn't be prouder of the young man that you are. A decade of homeschooling has flown by, and now I have a young man ready to make a difference in the world and to be amazing. When I look at you and your talents and abilities, I'm excited for the next generation, because you will do amazing things. This is my cry break. Before we welcome Mason in high school yearbook fashion, the Homeschool Personal Excellence would like to recognize some roles Mason Kirby has played over the years. So, he is class valedictorian of his graduating class of 1. He is most likely to be his own boss. Okay. Also, most likely to get the teacher off topic. Best laugh, best storyteller, person you would most likely want to be stranded on a deserted island with. Because you can talk about books, plays, jazz music, movies. He'll have his everyday prep bag, he'll have weapons, and his EMT. And he knows all the science facts, so hopefully he could build amazing things. So, and lastly, he is most likely to win the lottery and lose the ticket. Mason Kirby, may your hat fly as high as your dreams. With great love and affection, help me welcome our first graduate, Mason Tanner Kirby. Come get your diploma. You can hold it up so everybody. It's an official diploma. I love
I'm going to take this off for a moment because I'm going to sing a few words for just a second. I have high-tech notes.
Well, we have that high-tech podium with the exercise ball and the Mozu.
Yeah.
It wasn't the ideal situation, but see, in homeschooling we adapt. So,
So first
I
off,
really like this view, by the way. I'm just going to say, because you're so nice and tall, I can actually see your face. This is great.
so first off, I just want to take a moment and thank you all very much for coming. It really means a lot to me that y'all came. I'd also like to take a moment and just thank you all very much for the significant impact each and every one of you has had on my life. Without you, I would not be me. So thank you for helping make me me. But there's one specific person I'd really like to thank today, and that's my mom. You see, over the last 7 years, she's homeschooled myself and my sister. And she's been through the highs and lows. She's helped me succeed. She's encouraged and uplifted me through the whole thing. She's pushed me past what I wanted to do, or even what I thought I could do. She's made me more successful than I ever could have imagined. A great example of this is, as she mentioned, my EMT course. I realized very quickly into that I did not know what I was getting myself into, and I was way over my head. And even though, as she mentioned, I was supposed to have that senioritis, she and herself was supposed to have the senioritis for me. She gave up 5 to 6 hours a day to help me study for that course, and I can say with 100% of surety, I would not have passed that course if it wasn't for her. Without her, I would be nowhere near where I am today. She has not only taught me how to learn and how to be a good student and study, but she's also taught me how to be a good person, how to communicate, and skills that I will take with me way past my college career. She taught me to read, as we've mentioned. Without her, I have no doubt that I would not love to read as much as I do. She taught me to love stories, and we've spent countless hours talking about books and going to bookstores and all the times we've spent. She is someone I want to be more like in the time and energy she devotes to things, the kindness and caring way that she interacts with people, and just the overall badassery that makes my mom awesome. Mom, let me just take a minute to thank you very much for the last 18 years, but for the last 7 years specifically. It has truly been a wonderful ride, and I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a round of applause to my mom? There you go. Thank you all very much.
oh, turn around, let me take your
Yeah, we want to take pictures. No. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.